A couple things quickly. I need to go over a few things on the battery front. This here is a Stinger battery. This is known as a AMG style battery. These are a dry cell type battery, low internal resistance on them. What's nice about these kinds of batteries is the ability for them to deliver their power with a very low internal resistance inside of it. It's able to discharge at a very high rate. Just a couple of specifications in accordance to their website, Stinger's own website and stuff like that. It says that on a 20-hour rate it'll do 3.45 amps / 69 amp hours. So we're able to deliver a lot of current over a long duration before we get down to the plate voltage itself. But it does say here that in cold cranking it'll do over 1100 amps, which is really good for starting the car and stuff. And a continuous 5-second burst, it can deliver up to 775 amps. Now that's a good number for a factory location, factory battery location. So that being said, like I said, good battery, a good choice for this car in terms of this system. Now, a couple things that had to be done on the power side of things here. I'm going to have to at this time I have to leave the factory connection system on here. As you can see here, this is the actual power cable coming from the alternator itself. But the reason why I have to leave this factory connection on here and not upgrade it at this time is because I have 5 physical fuses there, 4 down here and 1 up at the top. Now, what I don't want to do is I just don't want to have to go through and try to rewire all this system here. This is an integrated thing. This would take me literally, to rewire all of this, I'd probably spend another at least about another 5 hours or so just disconnecting, reconnecting, putting fuse systems, because I got to refuse this. These are in here for a reason. These are the primary fuses to the car's electrical system, so I have to keep this intact. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this alone, leave this as it was before. What I have done, like I said, I've taken the area where I can connect this main power line in, so it is now connected onto here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go more on the ground side of things. I'm not going to worry about the positive at this time. We'll go to the ground side of things. Now, I've already gone and I've cut the 2 ground cables. These are the cables coming from motor and also from the body ground here. And also, I have grabbed the connector that we're going to be using. Now, one of the things that when you're doing this, because we're doing aught connections here, I'm going to bring this up out of the light. There is a sleeve, whoops, there's an internal sleeve that is in this connector. You need to remove this. So that requires you to take the leading nut out and then pull out these barrels. We will not need these because we are using the aught connector. Yep, that was it hitting the ground. Alright, so let me get this other one here pulled out real quick. Alrighty, so now that that is done, I need to take care of placing the ground connector that is on the battery side of things. You can get that. But again, you know, what you want to do is you want to check your mounting surfaces. Like I said, I'm a stickler on this. You know, go and make sure everything's clean and before I go down, you know, putting down a connection. Now, a couple things you could do, and I would suggest it when you're doing the battery stuff. I'm not obviously going to show it in this video. I will go back behind it and clean it all up and everything. As you can put on, they have basically, it's like a battery goo, and it is designed specifically so that you do not have corrosion between 2 points. Now in this video I'm not going to show it to you right now because simply I want it clean here. It is somewhat messy. And so because this is brass and this is a lead material, we have a high dissimilar materials, plus also how the screw itself is a different type material too. So we need to make sure that we don't have any corrosive issues. And again, it's about oxygen. And so there's paste that you can apply to these areas here, and that will help eliminate any kind of corrosion happening. Alright, so, oops, use my Allen. So, with the connectors on, I'm gonna. The battery is nice for a couple things. In this battery is really nice for a couple things. Is it allows you to either do a top post, and it comes with a side post variation. There's actually one for like GMs where it goes down to a side post so you can use your factory stuff. But in this case, I'm using the upper post. I find that when you're using, you're doing these, it's nice to make sure you cinch that down. I put on plenty of these types of posts and they back themselves out. So what we'll end up with is cosmetically is this how we'll end up with the ground block on here. Now what I need to do now is I need to strip back the casing here, and what you want to look at, what's kind of nice about our connector is we have actually a recessed area here. So for guys that are just a stickler like me about cosmetics, you know, the wire actually feeds in here and you won't have that frayed look on the other end of it. Alright, so you basically need to measure about how far back, and it's roughly about a ½ inch that you need to strip away. Again, nice on the butter cutters. This is one of the nice things about them. So we're going to just nice and pull back and get ourselves a nice stripped area. I'm going to get it to fit in there. As you can see how when the wire goes in, it actually countersinks in. So this is, let me zoom in a little bit here for us. So as the wire goes in, it countersinks in, and it just looks nice. I mean, it really is. It's more about the cosmetics on here. I know but I'm an old school Alaska competitor, so you know. When I say old school, I mean back in the 90s. This helps. It's a cosmetic thing, you know, but it allows me to you know, have a fully finished look. So all right, now on to, oops, put that down there, and of course on the second one here we need to pull back about a ½ inch. There we go. Get all your wire nice and neat. And make sure all goes in there. And voila. There we go. Now I've already gone in here and set everything up so that the lengths were the right size and stuff. Didn't want to make this video into a, you know, forever video. Alright, so there we go. Now get the two down. Connections. There's always the fun part, is to get everything lined up, looking pretty. Alright, so we've got, I think I've got the, no I don't. Let's see. All right, hold on just a second. All right, so now to complete this connection, what we're going to need to do is we need to cinch down the ground cable. Again, very nice connector. It's very useful. Very versatile because of the width. And some connections, you know, I've noticed some connectors and over the years and stuff, the problems they have is they're not quite, I don't know, I gotta put it, quality. I guess maybe that would be the best word here is quality and, you know, out there. So, all right, so now, yeah, there we go. That's a solid connection there. So now your ground side is done. Now, like I said before, I mean, normally we take the power side and we do the exact same thing. Oh, now I'm going to finish it off with a nice cover. So now we're totally protected. We don't have to worry about anything, you know, whoops, you know, I got power and ground type thing. I've gone through that a few times. But on this one here, on the positive side of things, I will be using the factory components and connectors and stuff. So I'm going to try to find a solution for this in the end. You know, but like I said, it probably would take me about 5 hours to rewire all this. And it's not something that, you know, in this video here I'm going to do. I don't need to do that to make sure that this connector is done right. It already is done correctly. I just don't need to go, you know, nuts at this moment to show you in this video. But so anyway, so like I said, now we have our power and ground connections are done. So we've got your power connection. This is from your alternator, and again, this is the wire that comes in the kit itself. You've got your two grounds, one going to the motor, one going to the body itself. We've already painted the surface here where the ground connection is located at, back here behind here now. So we've got that all finished up. We've also gone ahead and done the one on the motor ground, which is on an aluminum piece. So I've already gone in, made sure that that connection is done well. And the primary reason, one more time, the primary reason that you use the BIG3 kit, okay, the reason why that you want to use this is that when you're hooking up power systems, you know, you went out and you bought yourself a battery, went out and bought yourself amplifiers. Let's say you've got a total system wattage roughly, say, you know, 2,000 watts or something like that. So you got 1,000 watts on the sub amplifier, or you have 1,500 watts on a sub amplifier, 500 watts on a 4-channel, and you say, okay, hey, you know what? I've got that. No big deal. I'm going to go ahead and run myself a 4-gauge, or I'm going to run an aught power cable to the back of the car. And you say, okay, well, that, you know, that's wonderful. But the problem is that most people don't think about is ground. Ground is super critical because, you know, the way that electrons flow, you have to make sure that your ground is just as good as your positive. You cannot skimp this particular thing, and especially the ground to the body itself. Because if you skimp from the ground to the body, what you end up doing is you're hindering yourself. You're hurting yourself. Period. There's no maybe sorta. You are hurting yourself if you do not upgrade the ground, at least at bare minimum, from the body to the battery itself. But again, from the motor to the battery is also super critical too. It's nice to have all that current capability going on at the same time. So that way the amplifiers that you have in the back, that 1,500 watt amplifier, can actually deliver 1,500 watts. Because when current demand goes up due to small gauge wire and stuff, voltage drops. When your voltage drops, the output of your amplifier will decrease. So again, you buy yourself a kit. You know, it's I don't know. You know, I believe these kits are like $89 or something. I'm not sure exactly what the pricing is on these. But when you do that, think of it as like it's an investment into your system. You know, this is what this is. This is an investment to making sure that your system runs right. Never having to touch this. Never having to worry about voltage problems. Never having to worry about current problems. And again, you know, one of the bonuses is if you do everything right and stuff like that, you have a better electrical system. You won't see headlights blink, you won't see the interior dome lights blink, you won't see your gauges on your dash blink. All these problems will go away because you've gone and you've upgraded both power and ground. So that is the reason why that you want to buy a Big 3 kit. So again, thank you for watching. This is another Cadence Tech video.